So today is a blessed day because we are celebrating Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna, who is Sri Ramakrishna? It's very difficult to understand. There is a tree in the Upanishad, it has been, now in the Gita also, in the Gospel, that is a tree which is unrecognized, Achine Gach. He talks about a tree which is not known or recognized by people. So, Sri Ramakrishna, I take him as an incarnation, may not be everyone should take it. We know that when the incarnation and ordinary people come, there is a difference. Incarnation accepts, God accepts his a maya, a veil over him, and plays like a human being. They are called Deva Manava. Dual aspect. One is the human aspect, another is the divine aspect. Both mingle together. And that makes a wonderful personality, and out of that comes the divine manifest through the body. And I add the speech and the movement, which gives joy and solace to millions, to centuries, to millennium. Rama came, Krishna came, Buddha came, Christ came. They are called incarnations. And whenever they come to satisfy a particular need of that time. But this Ramakrishna came, actually, he has added all the unique features of all the incarnations which happened before. Don't think that Rama was different than Krishna, or Krishna is different than Ramakrishna. The same divine force descends again and again for the good of humanity and acts in the way to help the humanity. And every incarnation, when they come, they have two primarily focus. One is to meet the need of the time. What is the recent context? What is the problem of the time? They give solution to that, a practical, realistic solution. As also in their message, there is a perpetual message which is eternal. As we find in the Christ, we say, knock and it shall be opened unto thee. Pray. Close your door and shut your door, and in the deepest silence do your prayer and meditation. To dive deep inside. Blessed are the, say, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Message. This is the eternal message. And he had to do some miracles and other things for drawing people into the spiritual tradition. In Rama came here to fight with these what we call the demons, the demoniac characters. And Krishna came, he has to do those two things plus show a different level of love and affection. Christ came with bring that idea that God is not a punishing God and God is full of love and other things. But what has special feature of Sri Ramakrishna is that it is the need to show that it is, first of all, it is life's goal is God realization. That is the prime feature of all the incarnations. But special message of Sri Ramakrishna is this, what is called the crisis of the time, the harmony of religion. And harmony of religion is not a word. He has not gone to the school and college as you have just heard. It's not a scholastic life, not going to college to learn all this philosophy and other things. He directly delved into the truth and cried for realization. And, oh Lord, if you are there, please appear before me. Give me your vision. Oh Mother, Mother, Mother. And that is a direct experience. It does not need any philosophy, any type of schooling is necessary. Only the simplistic heart then can appeal. And that can take us to the realization. That's a unique feature of Sri Ramakrishna. It also we got it from Sri Chaitanya also, who always inspired to sing and dance in the name of the Lord. an ecstatic dance and forget about the whole world and step into that reality. But it is Sri Ramakrishna's uniqueness is that he has given this for the modern time, as also he did not decry the modern science and its educational system, but focus was this. And then this crisis of the time, we know we are passing through a great crisis, the crisis of the religious fight and all the superiority or inferiority. One religion will survive or all religion will survive. How can all religion be true if God is only one? Why so many religions? Ramakrishna's life is an example for that. And that to solve the problem of this time and centuries and millennium to come for future. Sri Ramakrishna's uniqueness is that one, to follow one's own path and to deepen it, at the same time love and respect. This is the uniqueness of Sri Ramakrishna. And it is such a special feature which probably no other followers of incarnation can take it. We can, if we think this way, that Sri Ramakrishna did not hate anyone, even those people who follow, add sex and money and all these things in the case of religious preaching or practice, Ramakrishna said, no, that is also a path. Don't decry. These are necessary for those type of people. And in the spiritual journey, there will be different levels of students and all will have different paths to follow. And then harmony of religion stands there in its unique glory. Sri Ramakrishna, what was his harmony of religion was said to be the highest, but when Holy Mother was asked what is the special feature, Holy Mother said, no. Harmony of religion, it is not like that we sit in the interfaith meeting and say, hello, hi. I am a Hindu, you are a Christian, I believe you, you believe me, and go back and preach my congregation the same way as I was doing. It's not like that. Sri Ramakrishna had the experience and he understood that is the truth. There is no hypocrisy in that. There is no politics in that. It is coming out of the simplicity. But we are really overwhelmed with this philosophy of harmony of religion. But what Holy Mother said is unique. What is the special feature of Ramakrishna? His renunciation. World never have heard that type of renunciation. That type of intoxication in God can give such a reaction. That physical thing, the worldly thing cannot touch him. If worldly thing touches him, he cannot bear it. Loren trusted him with a coin and put him under his bed. And he didn't know. He went to Mother and coming back with cheerful mind and he sat on the bed and jumped out. What happened? And Loren felt ashamed that he was trying to test Sri Ramakrishna. See, this world never have learned this. Or we cannot get an example as such. What the concept of purity? And we understand purity does not mean anything but God intoxication. If one gets deeply into the God intoxicated state as Sri Ramakrishna showed us, then what will happen? Your rejection of worldliness will be spontaneous. You need not have to practice. And Sri Ramakrishna's greatest virtue is this renunciation which has been indicated by Holy Mother Sarada Devi. We have never heard. And also her contribution for awakening the mother force in the whole universe. To awaken their divinity and potentiality. How in all the incarnations, even all with, because they have to play a different role. I am not nobody to criticize any incarnation. But I am talking as we see in the history, that they have to take a different role. And women were always put back. And this is the only incarnation. Sri Ramakrishna worshipped Mother as a wife, as the divine mother. And she used to see Amma Anandamayi in every woman of the universe. This is the unique feature of Sri Ramakrishna's life. And that was expressed by Vivekananda, that the bird cannot fly in one wing. The one wing, men force, another wing is the women force. So both should be equally strong to bring a wonderful society and a beautiful, harmonious spiritual life in the society and individual life. So we find that uniqueness of Sri Ramakrishna in many ways, but I am touching 1 or 2 points only, that this is the renunciation is unprecedented. And renunciation, at the same time acceptance, that's the uniqueness again. Buddha had to renounce his wife, his son. Sri Chaitanya had to renounce his wife. Rama had to renounce, for some reason, whatever, to Mother Sita. But Ramakrishna kept the wife in the same bed. And world never heard that story, that the wife is all right in whole night, in Ramakrishna is in ecstasy, and the wife is worried, what happening? Now he may go to Samadhi. Now he may, and what will happen? Then she learned how to bring his mind down to the earthly planet. That's why Holy Mother said, Ramakrishna loved me so much that he never hit me with a little soft flower even. So much love, but so much divine love. And how can it be possible made in this material world? It's a monk's life and householder life. He breathes this beautiful idea. It's not that monastics will only realize God, not the householder. And how to live in the life and live that dignity and purity of each other and love and respect for each other, that is we find from Sri Ramakrishna's life. For a wonderful society to build up, wonderful spiritual life to build up, and this God intoxication is the key point of Sri Ramakrishna's teaching, how we can imbibe and cultivate, that is his message. And there are many more things to focus, but I will suggest that this to think about Sri Ramakrishna, an embodiment of purity, embodiment of love, and not devoid of the world, not going to the caves. Those who like, let them go to the cave. But he brought that spirituality through Vivekananda and to his disciples, this idea to bring that Vedantic principle of unity of all religion, unity of all diverse experiences of the world into one place, and to mingle into the life of meditation and prayer and build a spiritual life here in the day-to-day working, in the office, in the court, in the law firm, in the engineering consulting organizations. Everywhere bring God into equation and bring it so that everyone becomes elevated. So to bring the Vedanta, which was hidden in the scriptures in the forest, Ramakrishna lived that life and then projected it into the society to bring harmony and peace. So we can meditate on Sri Ramakrishna's life in so many ways. The only important thing is that his key point, he said simply, Mairi bolchi, ami Bhagavan boi kichu bujina. He does not understand anything. He said, Mairi, I am swearing, I do not know anything but God. And that is, and his greatest message, that he said, the world is all zeros, meaningless. There is no meaning, there is no purpose of our life. We understand as we mature and death comes nearby. And when we are in aches and pains too much, then we understand what is the futility of this life. But Ramakrishna said all is zero. But only if we can put one behind. So this is the greatest message, to bring one God into our every breath and do whatever we are doing. It will add to the value of life, add to the value of our purpose of our life, to add to the spirit in which we are living, and will lift us into the divine. So I crave the blessings of Sri Ramakrishna on this holy day, that we be awakened into that, and thanks to beautiful music offered, and our mind was all going to those memories of Sri Ramakrishna, because he used to sing and dance in those way, and everything could have taken him, triggered him to that samadhi state, as we say, and it is experienced here and it is noted here. So this is the prayer for us, that we can go towards, we can put one behind our zeros of life. Thank you all.